Welcome back to another episode of Health is Wealth, and thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. And as always, I am beyond grateful and thankful to each and every single one of you who is tuning in to this podcast, and truly hope you are finding value in this. I'm having such a great time putting these out there, and I look forward to doing them every single week, and again, my goal here is really just sharing, some of my thoughts and things that I'm learning on my own journey in life, right? To create that better, greater version of myself. And so, just thoughts that I have, things that I'm learning, things that I'm relearning, seeing in a new perspective, sometimes just a reminder as to what's important and what's the goal and where I want to head. And so, hopefully you're finding some kind of value out of this, whether it be inspiration or motivation, perhaps learning something for the first time, right? Or maybe just seeing something in a different view. And, if anything, maybe it gives you a chance to get to know me a little bit, right? Know who I am, understand, my mission, where I'm headed to, where I want to head to in life, because I think the biggest thing we can do is look to each other for support and be there for one another. So again, as always, beyond grateful for everyone who tunes in, and always hope you're finding value in this. And what I wanted to discuss here with you this week is have faith, right? And so what do I mean have faith? Well, what I think about my own journey too right now, and where I'm headed to, where I want to go, what I'm going through in that process, and where I've been, life could be a struggle, right? We all know that. There's nothing new about that. There's ups and downs, and a lot of adversity and a lot of different things. At times it just seems like there's so much going on, and when we're dealing with so much, especially as we've gotten older, maybe got more responsibilities, and it could just seem like life really weighs us down. It can be hard to feel like there's an end, right? Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, like things get better. And, it's because sometimes we're just surrounded with so much chaos. And so having faith is just, I'm always hoping that, things are going to work out the way that they're supposed to for a reason, right? Having faith that everything that we are going through, everything that you're dealing with in your life, is happening truly because they're tests or things that are taking place in order to build you up, to make you better, to make you stronger, right? For what that plan is for you in life, of where you're meant to be and supposed to be, and are meant to be doing. So always having faith in that, it can be very hard in the midst of all of it, for sure, right? Like you're going through stuff, and it can be hard to, again, see that light at the end of the tunnel. But, it's important to have faith, that things do get better, and they will, right? Like we all know, we've had bad days, but then things do get better, right? But ultimately in life, thinking about it in a whole, having faith that, things are happening for a reason, and things will get to where you want them to be, as long as you don't give up. And that could be a hard thing though, too, to have faith, right? Especially when you don't see a lot of those things coming directly in the middle of stuff, right? You don't see anything getting better. You maybe only see things getting, harder and more stressful and all of that, but for me, having faith is knowing that, again, things that I'm going through in my journey, in my process and progress of where I want to go to, is just knowing that God's got a bigger plan for me, that's God's got these things in my way, that seem like obstacles, but they're really opportunities for me to grow, because there's something much bigger ahead waiting for me. And, the more that I personally go through, and the more struggles and tougher these situations become, the more I have faith in that the plan is that there is just something bigger on the other side of all of this. Once I get past it, that's waiting for me, right? A bigger life, a bigger purpose, a bigger meaning, all of the above. And so, you got to have faith, right? Because what's the alternative? So many people just think it's going to be doom and gloom forever and things don't get better. And all this is happening because it's just karma. And all this is happening because, life's bad and you're bad and the world's not a good place and all these different things. But why live in that reality? Why live with this mindset and way of looking at things where it's like nothing ever gets better? I believe so much of it comes up to here, right, in our mindset and how we perceive things. And I feel if we live that way, of course things are going to get better because you don't have any faith that they will. You don't believe that they're going to get better. You don't see, the end of the tunnel, so you believe it's not there, right? And having faith is having trust in the process, right? Trusting in the process, trusting that things do get better down the road, that things are preparing you for something bigger. And, for me, I find faith a lot in what I believe in my faith personally, right? And whatever it is you might believe in, or whoever it is you might believe in, whatever it is in life, that you feel you're grounded from, find faith in that, right? Find faith in knowing that you're going through everything that you are going through and have been through in life because you were meant to do it, right? In the sense that you were built for it. When you think about everything that you've gone through and are going through right now, you survived it all, even in the worst of circumstances where you probably thought there was no way out of it. We've all been there before. We've all been at that point in life where we're like, there's no way I'm going to survive this one. Yet here we are, And so that for me is what keeps me going, right? Is having that faith and knowing that this is all a part of a bigger plan, of a bigger process, and knowing that things do get better, right? And again, it could be a struggle, but having faith is just that, right? Believing in something you can't see right now. I think about this quote from Martin Luther King about, you don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to take the first step. And so me having that faith in God's plan and a bigger purpose for my reason and meaning to be here is trusting and seeing and believing something that I might not see right now, but in my heart, I feel it. In my soul, I feel it. In my visions that I've got in my head, I see it. In my mind, I see it. And that faith is good enough for me to be like, again, everything that I am going through is for a reason. It's to make me a better person. It's to build me to be a stronger person. It's to take me to bigger places in life. It's for bigger meaning and bigger purpose, right? So have faith, and regardless of where you're at or what you are doing, you are stronger than you believe. You are meant for more than you think you are capable and meant for. That is why you are going through all the stuff, right, that you are going through. And along the way, it's understandable. We're going through the chaos of things. We're going through the emotions. We're going through doubts. It seems like we have more adversity and more struggles and that any of the positives are good at times. But, to know that that's just sometimes part of the process, again, for molding us into that next version of ourselves, for molding our lives into that bigger life that is coming our way. So just have faith that because you are still here means there is something still meant for you to do. There is still a plan for you to be here, and don't take that for granted. So again, it comes down to having faith, right? In regards of how hard it gets and how stressful it gets, because without having that faith, and the world's just going to be full of doom and gloom. And for me, that's what keeps me going. My faith is believing that the things that I'm going through is because there is a life that's meant for me to be lived. There is a purpose on why I'm still here. There is a life that I've yet to still live, that I haven't lived yet, which is why everything has come to this point in my life, which is going to build me up to that person, right? Who I'm meant to be, to live that life that I'm supposed to be. And I find my faith in many different ways. Again, a lot of what I practice, and believing in there's more meaning to my existence than just living, right? I write down my goals every day. I continue to visualize and manifest these things in my head, understanding that even though that there have been bad days, I know that there are better days ahead. And that's what faith is, right? Seeing and believing what's not there as if it's there already. So don't lose hope, my friends. have faith in your life today. Understand it does get better. Understand everything you're going through is because you were built to be able to handle it, and because you were meant to live a bigger and better life with a purpose, with the God-given gifts and talents that you've been gifted and blessed with, and just have faith knowing that it's all going to get better, that it's all going to happen for a reason. One day, everything is going to come to fruition. Everything is going to connect. It's all going to make sense, and you will see it through, and you will realize, there was a reason why you had faith, because you knew things were going to get better down at the end of the road. So just have faith in all things, right? No matter what, because it's what will continue to keep you going and growing. So, my friends, as always, I am grateful that you tuned into another episode, and I will see you on the next.